Hey there everybody, just doing a review for this NTONPOWER power strip that features charging ports, and this is the box that the power strip comes in, just a normal box. You get these specifications over the back, and this is the manual that the power strip comes with as well, in case you want to take a close look at these specifications. There they are. I will be running through them when I take a look at the power strip right now. And so yeah, I mean, this is a really small power strip. It does have a 3.9 by 2.3 by 1.5 inch form factor, and it only weighs 8 ounces. And yeah, as you can see, this is a pretty unique design. It does have this rubber wrap right over here that you can put over the power strip just like that to keep the power cord in place. And of course, as you've noticed, the power strip does fold over into this groove. That makes portability a lot easier. And so yeah, I mean, this is just a really small power strip. The power cord itself is also pretty short. It is a 4-foot power cord. As you can see, I just have it plugged in right over here. And so yeah, I mean, just unwrapping it like that. Yeah, 4-foot power cord, not the longest power cord. So just so you know, this is meant for portability, really, because traveling with this power strip is going to be really easy in case you don't want to take a wall charger with you to use separately. And so when it comes to the AC outlet selection and the charging port selection, there are a total number of 4 AC outlets and 2 charging ports. So yeah, you get 2 3-prong AC outlets right up here at the front. You get 2 2-prong AC outlets right over here and right over here on this side. And there are 2 charging ports. You get a 45 watt USB-C power delivery port and a USB type A quick charge port. And this power strip does feature gallium nitride, which just makes the power strip smaller while still maintaining a high output power from the charging ports. So I mean, that's cool. I'm going to be testing out the charging ports in this review as well. Yeah, so I mean, and also another thing about the charging ports, when you're using the charging ports one at a time, like if you're only using the USB-C port or if you're only using the USB type A port, you can use the maximum power from each of the ports. But when you're charging 2 devices at the same time, the output of the USB-C port becomes 30 watts and the output of the USB type A port becomes 12 watts. So just something to know, I will be testing out the charging ports in just a second. And so the max output of this power strip is 1250 watts. But once again, I know other power strips have higher wattage output. But once again, this is a travel power strip. 1250 watts is still a good amount of power. I gotta say, I'm gonna try to push it to its limit to see what happens. And so yeah, I mean, that is the NTONPOWER power strip with a 45 watt USB-C port. Let's just get to testing it out. I'm going to get a watt meter right over here that I have to test out how much wattage I'm able to pull from it to see if anything happens if I go over that 1250 watts. Alright you guys, so just back with the NTONPOWER power strip. I do have this LASCO heater connected to the power strip right over here. I'm just going to turn it on to see what happens. I'm going to set it to low first. And so yeah, I mean, just a reminder that this power strip does have a 1250 watt max output. In terms of the power cord, if you're wondering how long it is, I mean, 4 feet, that's the best it can do. I'm pushing it to its limit, basically. So yeah, anyways, yeah, it's gonna wait until it levels out. I think it's gonna level out at about 850 watts when the heater is at its low setting. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm pretty sure it can run at low with no problem. I'm gonna push it over to high to see what happens. All right, yeah, it seems to be running really well. Let me go ahead and set a timer real quick just to see how long I can run this for. So yeah, I mean, let me just go ahead and set a timer. I mean, a stopwatch. Let me come back in 10 minutes to see if this heater is still running. And yeah, I'll be right back. Alright you guys, so just back with the LASCO heater after about 12 minutes. Still have the heater at high, running at about 1400 watts. And so yeah, I mean, it ran just fine. I mean, there were no problems that I ran into. It just kept on running over the 1250 watt max output of the power strip. And so yeah, let me just get to testing out the charging ports right over here. Let me get my Lenovo laptop and my Galaxy Note 9 that I have right over here, and start charging to see how the charging ports work while I'm using the power strip as well. Because I'm just going to keep the LASCO heater plugged in and powered on at its high setting, just to see if it has any interference with the charging power. And so yeah, I'll be right back. Alright you guys, so just back with my Lenovo laptop. I do have it charging from the USB-C port on the NTONPOWER power strip, and it is charging at about 25 watts. Basically, it's max charging speed. That's what I expected from a 45 watt power delivery port. And so let me just connect my Galaxy Note 9 to the USB type A quick charge port on the power strip as well. I think the charging speed of this Lenovo laptop will change. It will drop down considerably, but let me check that out as well. I will be right back. Alright you guys, so just back charging my Galaxy Note 9 from the USB type A quick charge port, and as expected, the Galaxy Note 9 is standard charging, and my Lenovo laptop is only charging at about 3 watts because, as I mentioned before, when you're charging two devices, the USB-C port does drop down to a 30-watt power delivery output, and the USB Type A port drops down to a 12-watt output. And in this case, for Lenovo laptops, they don't really like charging from 30-watt power delivery ports. But that's not to say that this USB-C port is weak. If you have a MacBook that charges via USB-C, a 30-watt power delivery charging speed is still really good. But for Lenovo laptops, it's not that great. And so yeah, when I disconnect the Lenovo laptop, however, the Galaxy Note 9 should start fast charging, I believe. Yeah, fast charging right there. Yeah, as you can see, the since I disconnected from the USB-C port, the USB Type A port is able to output its full 18 watts of charging power. So yeah, I mean, there is a bit of a compromise when it comes to charging power with the charging ports, but I'm not complaining too much because this is such a small power strip, and they somehow were able to fit 4 AC outlets and 2 charging ports. And the charging ports are still really powerful. And so yeah, I mean, that is the charging power from the NTONPOWER power strip. Let me go ahead and test out the PPS super fast charging from the USB-C port as well. Let me grab my Galaxy S20 because this USB-C port does feature programmable power supply super fast charging. For Galaxy S20 phones like the Galaxy S20, S21, S22, and it features I think PPS up to 45 watts. That's what it says on their product page. But let me just check out if it actually features that with my Galaxy S20, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so just back charging my Galaxy S20 right over here, and it is super fast charging. Not too sure if you can see that. Yeah, super fast charging from the USB-C port, and the Galaxy Note 9 is charging at the same time, but it is standard charging. That dual charging is happening right here with the 12-watt output going to the Galaxy Note 9, but this Galaxy S20 should be charging at about 25 watts, but it does have 45 watts of PPS super fast charging. And so yeah, I mean, there we go. That is the charging power and the AC outlet power of this NTONPOWER power strip. And there we go. Alright, you guys, that is the review for the NTONPOWER power strip with 2 charging ports. I mean, I like this power strip. It did really well in my testing. It was able to power this heater right over here at high, at like about 1400 watts, which is over its 1250 watt max output. There's no shortage of AC outlets on this power strip. I mean, this is such a small power strip. It's smaller than a Coca-Cola can, and yet it features 4 AC outlets. The 2 charging ports are useful. I mean, when you're charging 2 devices at the same time, charging power does go down just a bit. But if you're charging a single device at a time, that 45 watt USB-C power delivery port is going to be very, very useful. And you don't have to use a separate wall charger while you're traveling. And speaking of traveling, I mean, that's what this power strip is mainly for. The 4-foot power cord can easily wrap around the power strip itself, and you have this rubber right over here that can hold it in place. And yeah, it's just really small, lightweight, compact, easy to take anywhere that you want to. And down in the description below, I will have a link to the product page as well as a link to the review article in case you want to read a review article over at chargerharbor.com. And I will see you all on the next video. All right, goodbye.